The COP is the United Nations annual climate conference where almost every country comes together to deal with climate change. COP means Conference of the Parties, the countries that signed the UN Climate Change Convention. The 30th COP was held in Belém, Brazil from 10th to 21st November 2025. It happened at a critical time. Climate disasters are increasing, costs are rising, but global cooperation is becoming harder. So what did COP30 actually deliver? Let's break it down clearly and simply. Key takeaways of COP30. First, big differences still exist. COP30 showed that countries are still deeply divided. The biggest disagreements were who should pay for climate adaptation and how fast the world should move away from fossil fuels. Many developing countries wanted strong commitments, but the final deal, the global Muichiro decision, avoided most of these demands. The absence of strong leadership from major emitters was obvious. The United States sent no delegation, and China focused more on trade issues rather than global climate leadership. This lack of unity weakened the overall ambition of the summit. Second, fossil fuel deadlock continues. One of the biggest disappointments was fossil fuels. Around 80 countries demanded a clear roadmap to move away from coal, oil, and gas. But the final COP30 text did not mention a fossil fuel phase out at all. Oil-producing countries like Saudi Arabia and Russia, along with China, blocked any binding commitment. Instead, Brazil promised a voluntary roadmap for a just transition away from the fossil fuels over the next year. This keeps the conversation alive, but it is not legally binding and not part of the official COP process. Third, adaptation finally took center stage. For years, climate talks focused more on reducing emissions than on helping people survive climate impacts. At COP30, that changed. Countries agreed to triple adaptation finance by 2035. This money helps countries deal with floods, heat waves, droughts, and rising seas. Developing nations wanted this by 2030, so the delay disappointed many. Still, experts say the target is difficult but possible, and it signals that adaptation is now a top global priority. Fourth, trade and critical minerals enter the climate debate. Trade tensions spilled into climate talks. Countries like China criticized the European Union's carbon border tax, saying it unfairly hurts developing economies. The final text warned that climate measures should not become hidden trade barriers. For the first time ever, COP discussions also mentioned critical minerals like lithium and cobalt. These are essentials for clean energy, but their mining can harm communities and the environment. This shows that the climate energy transition also brings new challenges. Fifth, forests got recognition, but not enough. Brazil came to COP30 with a major idea, the Tropical Forests Forever Facility, or TFFF. The goal is to reward countries for protecting forests using satellite monitoring. Brazil pledged $1 billion, aiming to mobilize up to $125 billion in the long run. However, the fund received far fewer pledges than hoped. Words, a global roadmap to stop deforestation, was dropped from the final agreement, despite COP30 being held in Amazon region. Sixth, adaptation finance and loss and damage. COP30 made limited progress on loss and damage funds for countries hit hardest by climate disasters. Countries can now directly assess $5 to $20 million per year from the fund, but the fund holds only $756 million with no major new pledges. Meanwhile, COP30 adopted global goal on adaptation indicators, but last-minute changes weakened their usefulness. Support for national adaptation plans was acknowledged, but scaling up finance remains unclear. Seventh, gender and just transition, bright spots. Two positive outcomes stood out. First, the Gender Action Plan was strengthened. It now requires gender disaggregated data and gender equality in national climate policies. Second, a new just transition mechanism was agreed. It focuses on workers' rights, indigenous peoples, and social justice. These steps recognize that climate action must be fair, but success depends on real funding. Several important initiatives were also launched at COP30. Belém Health Action Plan to protect health systems from climate impact. Belém Declaration on Hunger and Poverty, centering climate action on vulnerable people. Global Ethical Stocktake, adding moral and ethical dimensions to climate policy. National Action Plan Implementation Alliance, helping countries turn adaptation plans into real action. These initiatives move climate policy closer to people's daily lives. Let's conclude the above discussion. What does COP30 mean? COP30 did not deliver a breakthrough, but it wasn't a failure either. It showed strong awareness of climate change, progress on adaptation, gender, and justice, but deep deadlock on fossil fuels and finance also persists. The future now depends on COP31 in Turkey. The biggest question remains, can the world turn promises into action before climate impacts get even worse?